Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your mindset, your life, business, health and wellness from where you are to becoming unstoppable. And today I want to talk to you about your next 30 days. So as of recording this, we are the 26th of December. So that will take us to Boxing Day and the day after Christmas. And you can have a plan to succeed and thrive, or you can have a plan to survive and fail, or you can just have no plan at all, in which case you're going to fail anyway. So when I say plan and fail, you may just plan to do you know what? I'm just going to eat and drink whatever it is that I want. I'm going to do whatever it is that I want because it's been a hard year and I'm catching up with people because we've been like, if you're living in my state here, we can catch up with people now. We can do these things that we haven't been able to do for like 7 to 8 months. So now I'm going to do it. I'm not going to care about any of that stuff. I'll worry about that next year. That's obviously one approach, isn't it? But let me ask you this. If you are currently, you believe you're in the top 1% of your profession, your field, you're an authority in what it is that you do. Do you have that same mentality to your business? Are you going to say the next 30 days, do you know what? It's been a really tough year. I'm not going to worry about getting new clients. I'm not going to worry about serving the existing clients. I'm going to close my doors. I'm going to party for the next 30 days. I'm not going to worry about any of that because I deserve it. Now, with both sides, you could stack an argument for either way, couldn't you? And say, well, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it has been really tough. You deserve the time off. But I guarantee you, if you're an authority and passionate about what it is that you do in your career, your business, there's no way you would allow that to happen because your business is like your baby and you want to nurture it for as long as you can. And you're not likely to just say, well, we're going to shut the doors for a month and just party and do whatever we like. You're just not going to do that. Let's forget about all the inquiries, forget about serving the clients. Let's forget about all of that. You aren't going to do it. But so many people do this with their health. Now, if you're in that top 1%, or if you are aspiring to be in that top 1% for your business or your career, just right now, have a quick assessment as to where you think you are in that. Give yourself a score out of 10. And you could be a 10 out of 10 in terms of aspiration. You may not be in the top 1% of where you want to be, but you aspire to be there. Okay, so you've got that number. So now, do the same exercise for your health and fitness. So think about the way that you look in the mirror, no clothes, naked, standing there looking at yourself. How do you feel about that, what you see? Rate yourself out of 10. Then take a look on your inner health and say, well, how do you feel about that inner health? Is that where you want it to be? And then have a look at your mindset and say, okay, is my mindset around my health and wellness where I want to be? And if you're less than 10 on all of those things, then I would say, okay, we've got room to move there. Now, I would say that I'm not 10 on all of those things. I would say if I look at myself in the mirror, I'd say, well, yeah, I'm proud of what I've been able to achieve this year, but I wouldn't say I'm a 10 because a 10 implies that I can't change anything. I can't improve anything. Or what I would say is if I'm a 10 now to what I wanted to be this year, I would say, all right, I aspire to be a 12 or a 13 or a 14 out of 10. My mindset is definitely a 10. Well, it's probably 11. Let's go with that. I'm always aspiring to change, always aspiring to be different. My inner health, well, I feel like my inner health is probably about 9.75. Now, I can't say 10 because I'm due to have a physical and I have my blood tests and everything before Christmas, and I haven't had that done yet. But I feel good, but once again, there's always room for improvement, I feel. So you form your assessment, right? So now, assuming that you're less than 10 on some of those categories or all of them, you may be close, you may be dramatically less. Well, now compare that with where you were on your other score. Let's just say that you said, well, where I aspire to be, where I am, top 1%, I'm a 7.5 or I'm an 8 or I'm a 9. But my health is a 4. So, oh, wow, okay, we've got a bit of a difference there. Now you can see that over time, if you want to continue with that 7.5, 8, 9, 10 in your business, then if your health is at 4, at some point something falls over because you can't maintain that. If you believe that your health is at a 4, then you're not going to have the energy. And maybe right now you're surviving on adrenaline, but at some point a 4 is going to catch up to you and it's going to turn into a 3 and maybe a 2. And then eventually it'll be a 0 because maybe your health has been so neglected that it means heart disease, cancer, disease, type 2 diabetes, whatever it is. Or it could be just as simple as tired, lack of sleep, sexual dysfunction, functional pain, a whole range of other issues that just affect where your focus is going, and you're just getting less done because you don't have the energy to be more upbeat and do the things that you really want to, or the things that perhaps you used to do when you were a little bit younger. So why don't we create a plan for this next 30 days to move you from where it is that you are right now to nudge you up further? Okay, so it doesn't matter where you are, it's about getting you further. If you're a 10, let's get you to 11. So what I want you to do is have a think about these things and think, all right, I've got 30 days to be focused on my health and wellness. Now, if you say right now, well, that's just not important to me, then I would say just switch off now. Because if your view is that, well, I've got 30 days and I'm not going to focus on my health and fitness, then I'll say, well, listening to this isn't going to help you. You need to have a commitment, and you're only going to achieve a change if you are a commitment. Like you are committed to this change. How committed do you need to be? Well, you need to be a 10 out of 10. Otherwise, what will happen? You'll do it for a bit, but then you'll stop. This is why when I work with people, I say, what's your commitment out of 10? And I don't take on anyone that's less than a 7. I just say, look, thanks for coming in. I appreciate your time, but look, I'm obviously not the right person for you, because do you know what? I only want to work with really, really committed people, because it's an investment in your health and fitness. And if you are not going to be committed, it's going to be a grudge purchase. Now, I can guarantee you your results, but if you're only a 6, then at some point you're going to fall over, because you're not going to eat the foods. You're not going to turn up to all the sessions. You're not going to do the extra maybe meal preparation and that sort of work that is required away from your time with me. But if you want the change, you need to really ramp up your commitment level. And that's the same for you too. You need to be a 10, otherwise you won't do it. Now, let's focus on some of the areas where you can be focusing. First one, let's talk about, we'll start off simple. Let's talk about your water intake. So when it comes to water, I like to drink 3 to 4 litres of water a day. Now, I'm not a big guy. I weigh about 70 kilos. I am 166 centimetres tall. Okay, so I'm not really tall, but I consume that much water. Why? Because it helps flush out all the toxins. It helps keep me hydrated. And it's great during my workouts as well. So that's how much I have. Now, I encourage everybody to have at least 1.5 to 2 plus litres of water a day. Okay, that's the first thing. So measure yourself against that. How are you travelling against that benchmark? The next one is sleep. Now, I say 6 to 8 hours sleep. I tend to get closer to the 6 hours. It's very rare that I'll get 8 hours sleep, maybe once in a fortnight or twice a month, something like that. But for you, what are you getting at the moment? I've got a client right now, and it says he's always struggled with sleep. He's only new, and I said, how's your sleep go? He says, oh, it's still bad. And so we talked about some of his habits, and like he stays up till 2, 3 o'clock every night, and then he has to get up by 7. And so he's getting like 4 hours sleep, sometimes 3 hours sleep. It's like, well, okay, he's still young, but at some point that's really going to catch up with him. So I said we've got to create some better wind down habits for him and better sequences so that he's just putting his body into a consistent state of it's time to rest now. Now I'm going to sleep, and I'll just get longer and longer and longer. So what's your sleep at the moment? Okay, can you improve in that area? Let's talk about I'll come back to the food last, but let's talk about your exercise. Are you doing strength exercises? Now, a lot of people say, oh yeah, I go to the gym. So, okay, fantastic. What do you do in the gym? And it's all cardio based. So, oh, well, I'll hop on the roll for 10 minutes and then I'll jump on a bike and then I might jump on the cross trainer and the stepper or the treadmill. I'll do that sort of thing. So how many times do you do that? Oh, yeah, I might do it 5 times a week. So, okay. Well, then when I match it up with their food, they're over-exercising and under-eating, but they're not doing the strength work. So I'm talking about, if you're doing body-weighted exercise, they could be sit-ups, push-ups, squats, that kind of thing. If you're in the gym, using the equipment to work the big muscles as well as some of the small muscles, but if you've only got a limited amount of time, maybe just focusing on the big muscles is all you need to do. It doesn't have to be a huge commitment of time in the gym. You could be doing 3 days a week of 45 minutes, half an hour if you're really stretched for time, and still really looking after your body. But what you need to do is make sure you are doing strength training, building muscle. That's what reduces functional pain. It increases your metabolism. It burns more fat. It makes you feel good. It makes you look sexy. And that's what just about everybody wants. So if you're not doing that, maybe you need to be doing it. If you don't know what to do, then you need to reach out to me. Go to the mentaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, opt in for a free consult. We can have a phone discussion or a Zoom discussion and get you started in the right direction. It doesn't matter where you're based in the world. I can coach from anywhere, give you a program that you can just have it on your phone. You can follow the program in the gym. You can even be talking to me live from the gym on your phone during a session. That's also possible, coaching you through each exercise. So that's the strength training. Now let's talk about the cardio training. So what are you doing with your cardio training? Are you moving enough? Are you getting in about your 10,000 steps a day? What is it that you're doing? Like I say, you've got to get that balance right so you don't do too much cardio and too little strength training. So give yourself a rating out of that, how you're going. The next thing is your food. Now, food is the single biggest problem that lets people down. Also, the single biggest thing that lets people down. Now, in this festive time, I mean, if you're over in the US and you've got Thanksgiving and, that heads on into more days and weeks of celebration, which then heads into Christmas, there are plenty of treats around for you. Big meals, excessive food, lots of social gatherings, barbecues here in Australia because it's summer here. And then you've got the Christmas festivities, whether they be work functions or whether they be other things as well. So many different things. So, what do? Do you just say, well, do you know what, I've got all these things to do, so I'm not going to worry about it? Well, that is an approach that you could take, but it's not going to serve you very well. And like I said before about looking after your business, why wouldn't you take some steps this year over the next 30 days to do things perhaps a little bit differently than you've done them before? Because we all know what that post-Christmas blues is like. You put on a few kilos, you feel dissatisfied, you said, I was going to do it differently, but this happened and that happened. And anyway, it's been a tough year, so that's where I am. Why don't you do it better? Okay, so here's how I say to do it. You're going to have Christmas lasts one day, right? Christmas Day, it's one day. But it seems to be dragged out for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, because people just make it that way. There's nothing wrong with having social gatherings, but here's a way of managing it. So the first one is, you could eat before you go and have exactly what you want and just socialise when you get there. Now, I can hear many of you scoffing at that and say, don't be stupid. We socialise over food, we do this, this and this. And I say, yeah, I get that. But maybe you could do it differently. I'm not suggesting you always do it this way. I'm just saying that is an option, isn't it? Have your food before you go and then go and enjoy what it is that you're going to enjoy with the social company. Or another variation on that is have a healthy snack before you go. So when you go, you're not starving. And then you measure your appetite, if you like. So if it's a barbecue, so what do they normally have at barbecues? Well, they normally have fatty sausages, fatty chops and that kind of stuff. Maybe there's some lean steak, maybe there's some vegan options that have got protein in them, maybe there's some chicken, that kind of thing. So just don't go overboard. Stay away from the fatty food and go for the healthier, leaner options. Fill up on the leafy green salads and that kind of stuff, and not the over sugared and fat like potato salad or egg salad or things that are really, really creamy and rich and high in calories. Go for the things where you can control, the dressing and that kind of thing. Just do it a little bit differently. If you go out, then don't be afraid to ask for variations on the menu. Ask for the dressings on the side. Ask for grilled. Ask for steamed vegetables. Ask for a baked potato instead of, a whole bucket of chips. Do it differently. When it comes to Christmas Day, so one of the things that I used to do was just absolutely gorge myself, overindulge. Where did that leave me? Well, it left me feeling bloated, overfull, a pain in the tummy, really sleepy, and just like, oh man, what have I done? And so we don't want to be like that. We want to do it differently. So what I do, I just treat Christmas like a normal day. It's just that maybe the food's a little different and it might be a little bit more special, but I don't overdo it because I know that that's not going to leave me feeling well later. And we don't want that. We want to enjoy everything about the day as well as the food, and just don't go crazy with it. So this is the same recipe for everything when it comes over the next 30 days. You're going to be surrounded with treats. If there are, you go to someone's house for a party, if you like, and there's all this party food around, like the chips and the lollies and the Christmas style of homemade treats, etc. Just avoid them. That's an approach you can take. Just avoid them altogether. Drink plenty of water, stay fuller for longer, and just make better choices. Because look, if you ate a bit of everything that everybody put out for you, man, it's a recipe for disaster. It's not about depriving yourself of things, but some people just can't stop themselves. So I say, well, just don't even start. Don't even go there. Okay, just do it a little bit smarter. I know these things challenge many people at this time of the year, but you're going to get this right if you continue to focus on your vision. Now, tomorrow I have a great interview with Liz Kalabakis, she works here in Melbourne, a great transformation specialist. We both work in the same area, different geographical regions, but we talk all about vision, visualization. She's got some really fantastic insights, so be sure to listen into that. But if you have that vision that is so strong and so bright for you, then this stuff doesn't even stop you. Okay? You could put me in a party right now and I'm not going to be tempted by that food. I'm going to be looking for, it's almost like I don't see it because I'm looking for, okay, so where are the salads? Where are the lean things? And if I know whose house it is that I'm going to, and I'll say, okay, I know this person isn't particularly healthy, or maybe they are. If they're not, I'll say, right, I need to make sure that I have eaten before I go. And then when I'm there, maybe it's in an hour or 2 hours time, then maybe I'll just have a smaller meal with me. I'll eat there. And I just won't overindulge. I mean, you can make up anything. Say, oh, look, I'm just really not hungry, or, whatever. People just have different agendas to you, and that's okay. You just set higher standards than most people because you're in the top 1%. You're a high achiever. So you will go that extra distance and say, well, yeah, no, this is what I want for myself. Therefore, guess what? you need to do what others aren't prepared to do. They're not prepared to put in the work. They're not prepared to walk past the bowl of Smarties or M&Ms. They're not prepared to walk past the fatty sausages and the white bread. They're not prepared to walk past the potato salad. They're not prepared to, not have the crackling that's on the pork, or the skin that's on the chicken, or the, overindulging in ice cream and custard and plum pudding and, all the different things that exist at this time of the year, the chocolates. But if you focus on what's super important to you, you will. Because those things won't matter. Because you have a vision that's so bright that they just don't tempt you. I know the work that I've put into my body this year. Yet have I stepped up a bit from what I was doing before? Yeah, it's just a bit of extra focus, but I'm still doing it. So what? My deadline was a week ago. Achieved it. I still look just as good. I'm still eating the same way. Clean, good quality food, and I'm enjoying the fact that I'm lean. I'm enjoying seeing the six-pack. I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying this lifestyle. Now, that's just a decision that I made to live that way now. Yours can be different. I'm just challenging you to maybe look at your next 30 days and say, how can I live healthier? How can I live better? How can I get better outcomes? And how can I launch myself into 2021 feeling absolutely amazing, energized, focused, and driven to achieve the best health, the best body ever in 2021. Because look, you deserve it, but it does take work, it does take commitment. It's not hard. Well, sorry, it's simple. Really, it is quite simple, but that doesn't necessarily make it easy. But when you start doing the things I'm talking about, doing them consistently, that's when your whole world changes. And to me, that is so damn exciting. Because if you change your body, if you can change that, you change your health, you have full control over that, man, you can do anything. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. It's Friday here in Australia. The weekend coming up, I've got a big weekend planned with my Christmas campaign. Tomorrow, tune in. We're going to be talking to Liz Kalabakis, as I said, all about vision, visualization. Super, super important and really exciting. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.